Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back with another Pokemon Go adventure. And this time it's sort of a side quest. It's not the legendaries that I usually cover. This is going to be the Gen 3 Pokemon Wailmer and Wailord. Wailmer is the unevolved form. He sort of looks like a ball with two fins that's painted like a blue whale. And then the evolved form kind of looks like a giant whale with extra fins. But it's good to do a series for this one because it's going to be dragged out. This is basically the Gen 3 Magikarp where you need to collect 400 candies to even do the evolve. So this could get stretched out probably through the course of the year, especially since I'm not near a water biome. Now these guys have actually been around for a while already, like pretty much since Gen 3 launched, but I haven't seen any of the raids nearby. And I think that's just RNG, because like 25% of all raids become level 1 when they're determined. And then of course there's all the level 1s mixed in, but I haven't seen like Wailmer for at least the first couple of weeks, and then they started spawning last week. So the footage here you're seeing it's just 4 of my first Wailmer raids, and these are level 1 raids, so they're soloable, thankfully. And this spans from the first one was before the New Year, just before the New Year, and then everything else was probably like a couple days after. It was basically the first week of January. So during this period, the weather is really bad here in New York City, and during some of these, it was actually dangerously low temperatures, below freezing, high winds. But you know, I was just thinking about the 400 candies that I had to collect, so I had to make an effort to get out there. Otherwise, if he didn't spawn at all, if it was just other level 1s, even Magikarp, I probably wouldn't have even gone out. Yeah, so a lot of parts of these clips you're going to see, it's very rushed. Like, if this had been summer, I would be fooling around with much lower Pokemon. But you see in the first clip I was using my best Raikou, and in this one it's the Solar Beam Ho-Oh, which basically just one-shot the boss. Like I just kind of tapped the regular attack just to get to that Solar Beam, and that's all it took, just one Solar Beam. And with the catch sequences, I think with the first couple I was doing the target lock, but there were a couple of times where it just felt too cold and I was just trying to get it over with. But at least this is not a legendary, and he's much easier to catch or to stay in the ball. The other thing about this is I have to use the Pineapple Berry in order to increase the candy drops. But he's been staying in so far, so the plan here is to kind of use the Pineapple maybe all the way until like the last 2 balls if it has to come to. So at the time of this video, the 4 clips are the only 4 Wailmer that I've come across, and I've Pineapped all of them. So that gives me, I think I have a little bit more than 24, but that gives me 24 candies, and that's only a little bit out of what I actually need, but the rate of this is going to go faster than Magikarp simply because I wasn't really playing that much during that period, and also there weren't raids when I started Magikarp. So the raids definitely help because you don't have to be near a water biome to get these guys. It'll definitely help, like I'll probably get out there when the temperature gets better, just to speed things up. And the other thing I'm going to do is make this guy my walking buddy next. I'm trying to finish Chansey because I actually don't have a Blissey yet. I've never come across them in the wild. Well, maybe like a couple times, otherwise I wouldn't have them at all. But yeah, I just need to get Blissey out there first, which is pretty soon, and then after that I'm pretty much going to swap in Wailmer for probably a good portion of the year, unless I happen to need a counter for an upcoming boss. Okay, so I swapped out the background video here instead of the normal still. This is just footage of me walking to the third raid that you see in the video here, in the gameplay video. And this is just showing the conditions after the snowstorm we had. This is actually just after the storm, so there's still a little bit of flurries and the winds are high. And this is sort of my normal Stardust route. It's like it's part of the Stardust route. And the location I'm going to is the location of the former EX raid, the local EX raid. Alright, so this is the last raid that I shot, and this is the day after the storm. And this was actually the hardest one because it was the furthest away. And the conditions were still the same. So you'll see later I actually take an AR shot of this. It's about the same amount of snow on the ground, still high winds, and still negative temperatures. And this location is also on like a pretty major road, so the winds are especially high in this area because there's no buildings blocking it. But I had to get that one AR shot because for the other three I hadn't gotten any, and I think some of those were at nighttime anyway, so the lighting would look kind of weird. But out of the 4 raids, this one was probably the coldest one because of the distance walked. And of course, during these walks, I'm not doing anything. Like I just have the phone in my pocket, trying to conserve the warmth of my right hand for the actual combat and capture. All right, so I'll sign off on this one here. Stay tuned for continued Wailmer coverage. Thanks for watching.